Welcome, 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 everybody. It's your girl Delores and your good brother J.News here for the Hit the Ropes podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be doing slides. We've cut a little something out. We're trying something new, ladies and gentlemen. Your good brother J.News, he's going to be holding it down some of the time today. We're going to be half and half it, okay? So, good brother J.News, you got anything to say to the good people out there?
It is 9:01 Eastern Standard Time, December 8th, 2024. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's good for the J-News. We're back at it again, me and the lovely Delores, talking all this stuff, this week's worth of wrestling with you today. And just wanted to say hello to everybody out there watching live with us here right now on the whatever space you might be at, be it Twitch or YouTube or whatever have you. Appreciate you guys always watching as we get the show underway.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's start off with a review, ladies and gentlemen. Review. Can you get a review? Ladies and gentlemen, it is with WWE. Again, no tickets today. If you comment, let me make sure the comments are working. We will definitely put it on the screen because we have room today. Yay! Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, WWE Raw was on 12/2. It was Raw 16:45. As you see on the screen, the Judgment Day, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defeated Damage Control of Io Sky and Kairi Sane. We had a WWE Women's Intercontinental Title first round triple threat match. Dakota Kai defeated Katana Chance and Shayna Baszler. We had a non-title match of Gunther defeating Dominic Mysterio. We had R-Truth defeating Pete Dunne. I said that R-Truth defeated Pete Dunne. And Seth Rollins defeated Sami Zayn. Did you see any of this, good brother J-News?
I did. And just to add a little bit of context as to what was going on during the show, the Seth Rollins and CM Punk started the show via a promo battle, basically them going back and forth. Then I believe Sami Zayn at some point made his appearance to basically clear the air as to what was going on between everybody there, and then that's what led to the match at the end of the show. I liked everything that happened on Raw. Everything was booked well. Everything from a storyline perspective made progress, so I liked all of that. And yeah, they're just telling all these different kinds of stories. The only thing I'm not a fan of right now on Raw is what they're doing with Pete Dunne, but outside of that, everything else is working.
Pete Dunne. Hey, listen, aka Butch. Butch, you come over here and fight me, we're gonna do it. I'm about to find a stick or something. I can't fight with bare hands. Just can't do it. Butch, aka Pete Dunne. I can understand that. I've been in that situation where you're being called something that you don't want to be called. And you ask people, I have a nickname that you all will never hear on here. And if I ever go live, listen to me, and you're a family member, and if you call me this name in the comments, I'm going to have to come and find you. Okay? Listen, and I don't like to be called this name. It's referred, there are two nicknames I have. One of them definitely can't call me. That's my granddaddy's name. My mama calls me the name twice, which is very embarrassing. I'll tell J-News afterwards, and then he'll get a good chuckle off of it. But I wouldn't want anybody to call me that out in public. I wouldn't want J-News to jump up here and be like, hey, such and such. And I'd be like, okay, don't do that. And then you keep doing it. And it seems like Pete has asked people 99 ways, don't call me Butch. And they still do it to mess with him and then wonder why he acts crazy.
Yeah, I just yes, and understandably so. I know that that's the storyline that they're going with. I just feel like it lacks depth. Like he's for all intents and purposes, just watching him grow as a wrestler and as a talent in the wrestling space over the last, I would say, 8 to 10 years or so. Um, it just this doesn't feel like it has much to it, and it has nothing to do with him being involved with our truth. I think Ron is one of the uh, most highly decorated and long tenured talents that WWE has. But I feel like for Pete Dunne, it's just an empty storyline because Ron's going to continue to do comedy stuff forever. So
Ron is I think he can evolve and be and do anything. And so
he really can. They don't allow him to basically, or they don't write stuff for him to do something different. He's just always doing comedy stuff.
yep. So we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're on to the next WWE event of the week. NXT. NXT happened on the 3rd. And we had the Iron Survivor Challenge qualifying last chance for fatal four-way match. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, I had to run for that. Rick Sinclair with Charlie Dempsey defeated in her corner, defeated Cora Jade, Jada Parker, Kalani Jordan. Now, I don't even know why. We'll talk about this in a minute. WWE Tag Team Title #1 Contendership Battle Royal No Quarter Cash Crew consisting of Miles Bourne and Tavian Heights defeated Gallus of Mark Coffey and Wolfgang, Hank and Tank, Hank Waller, Tank Leisure, Josh Briggs, and that's J.News word.
Oh, it's Yoshiki Inamura.
Yes, I know I was going to say it wrong. Out of the Mud, Bronco, Nima, and Lucian Price. The D'Angelo family of Channing Lorenzo and Luca Crucifino. And J. Newsworth.
I
Ty-
don't. This Tyreek Iguue and Tyson Dupont.
uh-huh.
Mhm.
They're new to me. This is like
Yeah, they're new.
I've
Yeah,
seen
they're
them
new.
before, like camera wise, they've been
Mhm.
on camera, but as far as like I don't know why they were there. Carmen Petrovich defeated Nikita Lyons. Gigi Dolan with Tatum Paxley in her corner defeated Easy Dame. Iron Survivor Challenge qualifying last chance fatal four-way match. Eddie Thorpe, who ended up not being in the match, defeated Axiom, Cedric Alexander, and Lexis King. J News, did you see this and what did you think about it?
I did see this. So
I
for
like
all
that there was such sad voice. She said, I did see this.
no, I mean, look. At the end of the day, I know what NXT is, and I know what it's for. I know what it's used for, and things of that nature. I was happy that they gave Ren Sinclair the win because at least I spoke about this last week with you here, or whatever the case is. I was all about free Ren Sinclair, free my home girl Maddie, because at the end of the day, what were they doing with it? Now, finally, she wins this match in the Irish Survivor Challenge. We'll talk about how she did on the deadline. PLE and stuff like that. But that was a good opportunity for Ren there. The tag team stuff was all a mess since for weeks, and they made it that way. They wrote it that way. They booked it that way. So it is what it is there. Carmen Petrovic getting a little bit of a spotlight. The way that she won her match against Nikita Lyons. That was a hard hitting battle between the ladies. So I got to give them props for that. As much grief as Nikita Lyons gets online, I thought that was a pretty decent match between the two girls.
She
The
gets
Gigi
grief
Dolan
for
was,
dragging all that wagon and sometimes they slow her down.
yeah, well, it is what it is. Gigi Dolan versus Izzy Dame, that was what it was. And then the last match here, yeah, you know what, man? It's tough, but I ain't got no love lost for Eddie Thorpe, man. I just don't. I don't, man, and I have my reasons.
I have my reasons
I got no love lost for Eddie Thorpe, man.
as someone who most people don't know has a deep heritage. Uh, him going around as starting off as a DJ dancing crip walk, a Native American pissed me off. pissed me off. Sir, you came here to be a crip walking DJ Native American. This is what you came to do? Take your butt back to New Japan. So get out of my face.
No, no, I don't want him anywhere near New Japan. That's the reason as to why I have my beef with him at the end of the day. So it is
At
what it
least
is.
I know he would got beat up in New Japan because you know when you don't do what you're supposed to do over there, they
No,
they
absolutely.
go the hard way. And
Hmm.
so I need him to go back over there. Is anybody, and I wonder if you're like this with two J-News, you notice different things.
Hmm.
You know, at like Netflix, at the end of a show, they have credits.
Sure.
Okay?
Hmm.
And it's like producer such and such, this and such.
Hmm. Yeah.
NXT now has credits.
All the shows have credits now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and but no, but specifically they'll do like like Monday Night Raw might be scrolling down
Hmm.
below
Right.
real tiny, but they'll say produced by WWE in big letters or whatever, like that closing shot.
Right.
NXT has a whole graphic with Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and I forgot who else, Lee something, that is that rolls at the end of NXT now.
Mm.
And I'm like, so are we leaving the wrestling behind and are we going into like the movie side of this now?
I mean, they're
Some of NXT has gotten to where we're getting a little bit more production.
well, yeah, they because of the deal that they struck up with the CW, they have a better production budget for NXT. But to basically land on what you were saying, they are making it more of a prevalent thing to the fans that, hey guys, this is a TV show. We have producers, we have writers, we have bookers. It's not, it's not real life, so type deal. So that's the way that I've been seeing. That's my takeaway, my interpretation of them putting,
I just
the
I just
credits on the screen
wanted
now.
Shawn Michaels to not put Shawn Michaels on the credits because if you ever been on you haven't been on the podcast. Sammy refuses to call him Shawn Michaels. He calls him Michael Hickenbach. His real name. He just refuses to call this man. We had votes the other day, and Sammy voted Michael Hickenbach, and I said, "Who? Wait a minute, that's Shawn Michael. Hold on now, I had to remember." And he was like, "Yeah, I don't call that man by his name." And I was like, "Why he can't just get credits in his real name? Why y'all can't? Y'all still stay in character even in a real life title? Y'all just say, you know what? We not
That's
gonna."
HBK, man. That's HBK at the end of the day. So yeah,
So now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going on to
smack it down.
SmackDown, or as the graphic they made you see said SmackDown. SmackDown, ladies and gentlemen, SmackDown was SmackDown 13/20 on the 6th. That was this past Friday. For the WWE Women's United States title tournament first round triple threat match. Listen, y'all getting up with the TK names. Cut it short. Tiffany Stratton defeated Electra Lopez and Naomi. Bianca Belair defeated Piper Niven. For the WWE Tag Team title match, DIY defeated the Motor City Machine Guns to become new WWE Tag Team title champions. Cody Rhodes defeated Chad Gable. Listen, um, WWE, Bianca Piper loved it. Tiffany had an epiphany on Tuesday. Her head must have been clear on Friday. But the Motor City Machine Guns, you lost pretty quick, did you? You lost pretty quick. And my boy Cody,
I told you, Dolores. I told you. I told you. You didn't want to believe me, Dolores. You didn't want to believe me. It's happening.
listen,
It's happening, Dolores. It's happening. I
I'm
know
gonna
it's
say,
happening.
I'm gonna say the man is holding my man down. Okay, man, the man can't see a beautiful melanated in his soul man get up on the top of the pedal. Jesus.
I'll I'll say this about
Long
SmackDown.
as listen, I love CM Punk. I love him. I love him. But if he win the championship for Cody, I'm gonna cry human tears out here. Y'all gonna see me come in here and sob so bad that J.News gonna have to pull me off the panel. I'm just I'm sorry.
I don't think that'll happen, but um, I can see some other stuff happening. But off the on the SmackDown tip, I will say this publicly here on our forum, on our platform. I have not been a fan of hers since she started, but in the last couple of weeks, Tiffany Stratton is really starting to grow on me.
Wait a minute, let me get my Tiffany on. Because
For
you know
for
I got a new pink cup. See, this is what happens.
for whatever reason, she's starting to grow on me. Um, and I can really appreciate what she does and how she stands out, and I really do like her wrestling style. So I'll give her that. I don't feel like Elektra Lopez has learned much and or progressed much since she's gotten up to the main roster. So that's a thing that I noticed about that particular match.
I
And
don't think she was doing good in NXT, that great in
she
NXT.
wasn't doing great in NXT. There was a lot of work for her to do, but I guess
Maybe she just want to use her as a jobber.
no, I think the thought process was that she was supposed to come up and do what she was doing on NXT with the legato, and that was basically be their mouthpiece because she's a decent talker. Um, so I guess that there. Yeah, like you said, I agree with you about Bianca Belair versus Piper Niven. That was a banger of a match. Johnny Gargano went to Masa Ciampa, going heel both of them. That I didn't see coming. So kudos to the WWE there.
Also, going back to Monday Night Raw,
Mhm.
I enjoy a good heel turn.
Mm.
And I had a kick out of Kofi
Oh no!
and Xavier because
I didn't
we
want
had this discussion, and I
you to
want to
bring
tell
this
you
up,
if
man.
you felt the same way, but this is what I feel. They did have some good points. Okay, you can't knock them. They
No,
had
no,
some good points.
because Kofi was right. All they did was tell the truth, right?
Yeah,
All they did was tell the truth. But the matter is, what E didn't get to say because E was hurt like the rest of us were hurt. But I can get on my platform here with you and say, it's not what you said, Kofi. It's not what you said, Xavier. It's how you said it. How you gonna demean a man after breaking his neck? He broke his neck for y'all. And y'all out here talking about he wasn't there for you?
listen.
This is
Okay. Let
blasphemy.
me break down the point of why you
Blasphemous.
say. Wait a minute. Let me break it down because I was hurt too. But then when I thought about it, rational mind spoke to me and said,
No, no.
check
The,
the facts. Okay,
the
we're gonna do
truth is
a little
fine.
therapy for y'all. Check the facts.
The truth
Listen,
is fine. Just
he
because it's
said,
true doesn't make it right. All
listen,
right?
he
That's
said,
the reality of it. Just
he
because it's
said,
true doesn't make it right.
he said, I broke my neck, and Kofi said, "So what?" And at that moment, I was like, "Oh my god!" And then afterwards, I was like, "Okay." Biggie, in his plea to the New Day, he explained all the things that they had did for him.
Right.
What did he do for them?
He was always there until he
No,
got
he
his neck
wasn't.
broken.
He wasn't there anymore. Okay, listen. This is my thing about it. They did describe all the people who had got their neck broke and
Right.
came back, and he did not have surgery, so he could at least been a manager. And then somebody said, "Well, that's beneath him to be a manager." I said, "But it's beneath him to sit at a desk and talk about wrestling on a pre-show. Is that beneath him then?" So
First,
listen, sir,
first,
you could
first,
have came out there and sat at the desk and
first
wow and cheered us on, just like you sit on the pre-show and make money. Once you got to that pre-show, listen, and they said it was low about him, them talking about his girlfriend and stuff. But he has been out here doing was it stepbrother pictures with his
yeah,
girlfriend,
I saw
doing all
that.
that, picking her up, lifting
They're
her and
great.
all that. So if you can do all that, sir, you can at least show up and just say, "Come on, Kofi, you could have did something."
I'll say this much. And yet again, I understand how the segment was formatted, right? Like I said, what Kofi and Xavier said, all of it is true. Yet again, to my point, doesn't make it right. You know what the other half of what they said about, well, Stone Cold broke his neck, Edge broke his neck, Kurt Angle broke his neck. All right, take every single one of those characters and people, and you tell me if Big E wanted to end up like any one of those people. Edge was retired for 9 years. Stone Cold retired in the prime of his career. And on top of everything else, Kurt Angle went through a very, very, very bad bout of drug addiction to get over the other side. All because of these neck problems. So you can't be giving me none of this
Listen,
BS truth.
what did these men have in common?
What?
They all had surgery. Biggie did.
No. Kurt Angle didn't have surgery till after the fact.
Yeah, I was saying, but he still needed surgery. But
True. But
also Kurt, just like Triple H.
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna forget them TNA behind the scenes specials. I'm not gonna forget Awesome Kong. And I'm also not gonna forget that you got paperwork because of it. I'm not gonna forget, okay?
At the end of the
Because
day,
Triple H tried to forget like when he said me and China were never together. I'd be like, sir, do you remember that VH1 did a behind the scenes thing with you that still lives on the internet? Remember when you said I proposed to her and I saw The Rock? Listen, please don't play me. I know it might not be in everybody's memory, but it
all
was in mine.
all I'm saying is that I understand the facts and the truth. Yet again, how they said it and how they went about it didn't didn't necessarily jive well with me, and there are holes in everything that they brought up anyways. I get it, storyline purposes and all that stuff. I get it. My hope is that in maybe a year or two, after all of these different treatments that he's been taking, the stem cell stuff, and if he wants to, that Big E makes a return to the ring. But this blasphemy that happened on Monday, I can't stand for it, Dolores. I can't stand for it. I'm sorry. I can't stand for it.
Listen, it was the way that they put it, but also I was hurt in the moment, but afterwards I was like, man, they made some points. Now they made some points. I can't say they wrong on that. That's the type of wrestling I need that makes you sucks you in and then changes your emotions mid motion. That's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen.
They go ahead with
We're
that.
on to what happened on Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. It was deadline. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the matches that had happened on Deadline, and this is how it goes. We had a WWE NXT title number one contendership Iron Survivor Challenge match where Oba Femi, I said it again, Oba Femi defeated Ethan Page, Javon Evans, Nathan Frazier, and Wesley. Oba Femi ended up winning because he pinned two men at the same time right before the last buzzer, which gave him three. Ethan Page two, Javon Evans two, Nathan Frazier and Wesley one, and it went just like this as you see on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. Wesley pinned Javon Evans. Nathan Frazier pinned Ethan Page. Ethan Page pinned Nathan Frazier. Obafemi pinned Javon Evans. Javon Evans pinned Wesley. Ethan Page pinned Obafemi. Javon Evans pinned Ethan Page. And then Obafemi pinned Wesley and Nathan Frazier at the same doggone time. Okay? We
Right.
had an NXT Underground match. Lola Vice defeated Jada Parker. WWE NXT Tag Team title match. Axiom and Nathan Frazier defeated No Quarter Catch Crew of Miles Bourne and Tavian Heights. We had a WWE NXT title match where Trick, because that's my theme song. Whoop that trick, get him, whoop that trick. Trick Williams defeated Ridge Holland. And last but not least, the WWE NXT Women's number one contendership Iron Survivor Challenge match. Julia defeated Sol Ruka, Stephanie Bakir, Ren Sinclair, and Zaria. Julia had two, Sol Ruka had one. Stephanie Cure had one. Ren Sinclair had one. Zaria had one. Julia defeated Ren Sinclair. So Ruka defeated Ren Sinclair. Zaria defeated Julia. Stephanie Cure defeated Ren Sinclair. Ren Sinclair finally got one against Sol Ruka, and Julia defeated Zaria to complete her win. Did you see this, J News?
I did. I did see this. Obafemi for folks. Let's for context. Obafemi was the one who replaced Eddie Thorpe here in the Iron Survivor match after Eddie Thorpe was taken out by an unknown assailant. At this point in time, we
It's
don't.
gonna be Obafemi.
I don't necessarily know that, to be quite honest, because somebody's fighting for Ava, so we don't know if it was Obafemi. So Obafemi takes the win there. So good to
But
see.
my mind immediately goes when you mention that Oba took his place. Is that if this was the same, I know it's storyline, but if this was the same and you put the same man in the same spot, if Eddie Thorpe had a won, I would have came up here with a broken screen because I would have punched it straight into gosh, just because I would have been like, how did this man win?
Hmm.
How is his character even still going? He's a crip walking Native American DJ. Come on now.
Like I said, I don't necessarily know what they're supposed to be doing with Eddie Thorpe, quote unquote. But at this point, I'm glad to see Obafemi return to NXT. He had been off TV for a while, so glad to see his return. He had some good moments throughout the match, especially the moment that he had with Ethan Page in the penalty box. That was cool. That was fun. Um, Lola Vice versus Jada Parker went the way that I thought it was going to go. So that was cool, I guess. They're going to continue. I feel like they're dragging this Axiom and Nathan Frazier thing to the ground at this point.
Yeah.
So
It's like the New Day. They just dragging it. Even with the New Day, I'm beginning to get pissed off that they ain't broke up yet.
they keep dragging that. I figured Trick was going to beat Ridge Holland at the end of the day. So that wasn't news to me. And the ladies did the damn thing during the Iron Survivor match. They killed it, man. A lot of people on the internet seemed very impressed with Sol Ruka, um, which is cool to see from a macro standpoint. But I think a lot of people are being disingenuous with how they're like comparing her or like basically overhyping her.
She's really flexible, almost on like a Rob Van Dam kind of
She's
level.
very athletic. She's very athletic, but so are a lot of the girls on the NXT roster.
It's her character and her talking that we need to work on.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. I think she has
But
a lot. She
I
has a
knew
lot of
this match
potential.
was going to be match of the night because of Julia and Stephanie Valkyrie and Zaria. I mean, if you've ever seen them wrestle before, you already know it was going to be a hard hitting match from the get go.
Yeah, but for me, the underrated MVP of that match was Ren Sinclair because without her selling and without her doing her funny bits, that match wouldn't have been as entertaining as it was. So shout out
Shotty,
to Ren.
Shotty got beat up
She did,
multiple.
but somebody had to, right? And,
Yeah.
and she sold it well, so that's why I give her a lot of credit. In
So
that,
is she the NXT Dolph Ziggler?
that's interesting that you put it that way. That's not a bad comp though, because she's really good in the ring and she sells very well. Yeah. I'll give her that. I'll give her that right now. That's a good yeah. That's a good way to put it, Dolores. It's a good way to put it.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go on to AEW, and we're going to start out with AEW Dynamite. Ladies and gentlemen, AEW Dynamite was Dynamite number 270 on the 4th. We had Continental Classic 2024 Blue League match. Kyle Fletcher at 6 defeated Shelton Benjamin at 3. We had Dynamite Dozens 2024 Battle Royal. Listen, this is Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly defeated Action Andretti, uh, and Brian Cage, and Dante Martin and Darius Martin, Eva Uno, Lance Archer, Leo Rush and Mark Davis, Rocky Romero, and The Butcher. We had Swerve Strickland, and I swear when I drive. Yes, he did. He defeated Max Caster. Jay White defeated Pac. Anna Jay defeated Penelope Ford. Why did it want to come out? I miss Penelope Ford's old character. This new one ain't working for me. Continental Classic 2024 Gold League match. Claudio Castagnoli at 6 defeated Brody King at 3. Did you see any of this, J News? And what did you think?
I did. Keep it short and sweet. Kyle Fletcher versus Shelton Benjamin was a banger. I felt like Shelton Benjamin should have won that match, but whatever. I understand what they're doing with Kyle, so that's there. With that being said, the obvious pick with the Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal thing happened, so that goes without saying. Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly are going to end up in a triple threat match against. No, they're going to end up in a match against each other, which the winner of that match is going to go ahead and face MJF at World's End, I believe.
Oh, we already know how that's gonna go.
So that's the way that broke down. Happy Swerve Strickland beat the piss out of Max Caster because that should have happened a long time ago. Jay White continues to prove to me that he is still the number one rock and roller, the catalyst of professional wrestling. People who say that Jay White is boring don't pay attention to the details at the end of the day. So
Don't talk about me, J News. I think he's boring compared to the Switch White I know from New Japan Pro Wrestling.
nah, it's the same person, man. Y'all
No,
just ain't paying attention.
okay,
Y'all ain't paying
Switch
attention.
White. What's that movie? No, that television show, Breaking Bad. You know how that character was very methodical,
Yes.
and he was undercut, and he could really unalive people in like seconds.
Mhm.
That's the Jay White I knew
Mhm.
in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Mhm.
When he came to AEW, he became funny, goofy Jay White. And
They
I'm
were
like, okay,
they
yeah, he has that tendency, but I want to see the
I,
cutthroat Jay
I
White.
I agree with you, and I'm not going to take that away or discount it. But notice, ever since he hasn't been with the Guns or Juice, he's gone right back to what he knows to do. He outsmarts every wrestler in that ring. He lets them have their offense, and boom, beats them with their own
Yeah,
shit.
because that's the same problem I have with uh you just named him. Not the Guns,
What
but
Juice?
Juice. Yes. That's the problem I have with Juice. Juice used to be somewhat funny, more athlete fighter.
Hmm.
Now he is more funny,
Yeah,
less fighter. And I'm like,
I
just
feel
talking
like
about barking, this weird hair, this all that stuff. Okay, that's you doing this a little bit too more. It's like you just beating a dead horse at this point. And I want you to go back to who you were. Even when it comes to, I think the transition of these characters have been a problem for me. Okada,
sure.
it's like this. I'm funny, Shibata. I can crack a little joke here and there. It's like, no, you were cutthroat. I remember old man Okada get off my lawn. Okada, now he hanging out with the young bucks and cracking jokes and wearing weird clothes. That's not the man I wanted.
Yeah, I understand that, but I've never me personally, I've never had an issue with how they've portrayed Okada on TV. Now, did I have an issue with the way that they portrayed Shibata? Sure, I agree with you there. The Juice Robinson thing, Juice has played this kind of a wild man character before, so it's not new to me per se. So I don't think anything of it necessarily.
But it wasn't on
Um,
a consistent basis like this.
uh, I don't know. I guess we can agree to disagree on that.
I
And
think
and,
for me,
and I
it's like
feel like
buying a vanilla shake and you end up getting banana navy. You know me, I love a good banana shake, so I'll be happy.
but with
But
the Jay
it's like
White thing,
you buy into one thing, you follow these people and you know them. Like for us, now I can understand the casual fan, they new to them and they might think it's funny.
Mhm.
But for some of us who AEW taps into the hardcore fan,
Mhm.
we know these people. We have seen these people. We know their characters. We know who they are. And then they come here and they not the same people. It's like, hey, I remember Switchblade. First of all, I was mad that he got left in the middle of the New Japan ring. Look, you know, David Finley, I'll never forgive you. Okay, But
They still got to run that back. I
they
still feel like they have to
you
run
gonna run
that.
it back in AEW and it's gonna be messed up.
I feel like they have to run that back still. But you know, at this point, because I feel like Jay White, to me, regardless if he was the leader of the Bullet Club or not, he was always very unique in New Japan because even though he did have the faction behind him, he would still go to work by himself. He had Gato, sure, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, Jay White's character was being the smartest wrestler in the room. And now he's getting back to that. So I can appreciate what they're doing with him now on his own.
I think they could have made that more of a thing
Sure,
where to set up a match between him and Finley.
sure.
But again, because Finley's been to the States, you could have made that,
Yeah,
but
but
they didn't do it.
David Finley's to even to the hardcore fan, David Finley's not the he's not as much of a name to get in the ring with Switchblade Jay White, but they would have to build a story for the casual fan and put the video packages together and all that stuff or whatever to make people understand the history. And I think they can go and build that there. But for the two last points here, the Anna Jay versus Penelope Ford match, I've been uh, appreciating Penelope Ford's work since she's come back. She looks much healthier. She looks like she's regained her physicality in the ring and her athleticism. So I appreciate what I've been seeing from Penelope as of late. And um, Anna Jay was able to do what she can as she's been improving in recent months since her I don't want to call it excursion to Japan, but since her trip to Japan, and then the Continental Classic match between Claudio and Brody King delivered on all cylinders. I am, for me in my head, I still see just based on what Brody's been doing the last couple of weeks, I see a future AEW episode where there's going to be a stare down between the entire House of Black and the Death Riders. That's what I want to see eventually, because they are all very interesting and very extremist characters from who each other are. So I would like to see that and see as to how that goes down, and not from an AEW versus the Death Riders perspective. Nah, it's just the House of Black as a team versus the Death Riders in that particular perspective. So that's just something that I want to see. But yeah, just wanted to mention that.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go on to Ring of Honor ROH. Ladies and gentlemen, I went to sleep on this thing 3 times, so I'm gonna give you the answers to the quiz. It was Ring of Honor '93 on the 5th. Shibata defeated Alex Reynolds. Beef and JD Drake defeated Waves and Curls of Jalen Brandon and Tavion Jordan. Trisha Dora defeated Rachel Ellering. Gates of Agony, Bishop Kong, Toa Leona defeat Griff Garrison and Preston Vance. That's a name that when I saw it, I was like, whoa, long time no see. Billy Starks defeated Lady Frost. Old school ROH match flashback. Nigel McGuinness defeating Marufuji.
That's right.
Action Andretti and Top Flight of Dante Martin and Darius Martin defeated Shane Taylor Productions, Charlie Bravo, Shane Taylor, and Sean Dean. It was Action Andrade and Top Flight together defeating them, which hurt my heart. It did. Because that was the only match I was truly interested in. I also was in, I like, listen, I don't know what they're doing to my boy Shibata, but stop doing it. Stop doing this man like this. You got this man in ROH wrestling bums. Stop this. Stop this. Billy, call up Billy Stars. Call up Athena. Call up Mark Briscoe permanently. Call up Shibata. Stop doing this to these people.
It's tough, man. I feel like I feel like most what how most people feel. Outside of Athena, there isn't really much to sink your teeth into when it comes to ROH.
Shane Taylor Productions, but it's like at a certain point
S,
they
S,
get jobbed out by people who really don't have as
yeah, STP's done good work on ROH and on mainline AEW stuff. So it's like, I don't necessarily know as to what's going on there. There's the whole friction storyline with Action Andretti and Leo Rush and Top Flight that's still going on. So I just wonder what the resolution is going to be there. Um, I feel like they've dropped the ball with the Gates of Agony tag team with Bishop Khan and Toa Leona. At this point, I feel like they should have been more of a focal point or a focus or a stronger team on AEW proper. Um, I, I, I understand companies need enhancement talent, right? I get that. Um, but ever since Brian Pillman Jr. left, Griff Garrison's just been in a black hole at this point, doing whatever creative tells him to do. You know what I'm saying? And he hasn't really found a real character for himself. And Preston Vance, ever since he freaking took off the mask, he's been nowhere. So it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. So
Listen,
it's
Preston Vance has
yeah,
been on a struggle since he stopped eating in slow motion on being the elite.
I listen.
Listen, that man is fine. He can be creamer in my coffee. Okay, he fine, and that's what the ladies were like. Oh my god, he fine again, like Warlow. Oh my god, he fine, and then he opened his mouth up and started talking. You like, no, please,
A lot of the time,
please keep your mouth closed.
they don't necessarily have the wherewithal or the chops to do it on the mic. Um,
But the crazy thing is, at first on being an elite, he would not talk and he was just slow eating. Then he talked a little bit, and then when they had the dark order by the elite, being the elite, and it was like dark order for a couple of weeks, it was more like,
couple months really, but yeah.
yeah, yeah. For me, it was a couple of weeks because after a couple of weeks, I stopped watching. Uh, it was more like, sir, what is your purpose? Like this whole thing has gotten old.
It's tough because out of all those younger guys that were in AEW during the pandemic era, right? The Griff Garrisons, the Preston Vances, even freaking Aaron Solo, Lee Johnson, and all those younger guys, like they had in the
Some of that
five,
has to do with.
huh?
I think some of that has to do with a lot of those names picked a side in the elite
Oh
versus.
no, you know what that is? That all those guys that are really up in the air, they were all Cody guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then a lot of them also were. They got involved in the. Let's talk about it since we're here.
Mm.
Nick Nemeth's complaint
Oh, right. I read about this.
that after the CM
Ryan Nemeth, brother.
Ryan Nemeth, sorry, that he was essentially mistreated and stuff. And
Mm.
initially, when it happened, we were all told that Punk was alienating him from wrestling
On Collision.
on his show
Right.
and other things.
Mhm.
He's saying in the document it was AEW from all the shows and different things. So it's like, that makes me mad because now I'm wondering if he is now saying his opportunity, he is free and clear to kick CM's Punk back straight in,
Mm.
and he is not doing it.
Mm.
Was that truly the problem, or was AEW handling of his situation the problem?
No, if, according to what I read, the way that I interpreted it, the way that I read it, Ryan Nemeth is saying that AEW, the way that AEW handled the situation was the problem. Because you can only do but so much with one individual instance and a situation, which was what happened with CM Punk. But the rest of it, how the rest of it was handled, it's one thing for him to be off Collision, Dolores, but like he wasn't on Dynamite, he wasn't on Rampage, he was under contract, he was told he was gonna get used, and that he wasn't used. Like that's just
And that's not the first time AEW has had this problem. And I've had this discussion recently. that has been a continuous thing that Tony Khan can point fingers, but he can't point them back at himself. He doesn't want to take ownership that, yes, it's all the thing. I don't care. Listen, I might run Dolores' channel.
Mhm.
I don't care if J.News comes up here, drops 99 bombs, get J Bird naked. I can be mad that he did it, but it comes back to me.
Right.
It's my show. I could have taken them out. I shouldn't have put them on. It's my thing. I have to take responsibility for what happens on my channel.
Right.
He is responsible of a company and what's happening. And then on top of that, we know that he runs the show, period.
Mhm.
Because we've seen him in the shows backstage, in the confrontation video, he was back there running backstage. So he is the buck stops with him.
Right.
So at what point do you take ownership of saying, maybe I gave this man I gave this man too much power. B, I didn't handle the situation well. And C, I did not handle it well and it led to other things. You were more mad at Punk and what he said at the press conference than the fact that one of your employees got on national live TV and just said whatever the fuck excuse me, whatever he wanted to say and didn't chin check him about it. And so then you're mad at another employee for getting mad. Then you're mad at him because of the fight. Because you shouldn't have said those things. But again, I want to say to people out there, if you let somebody run into your house or your locker room and you just said some stuff about them, do you think they coming in a friendly fashion? No. So they swinging. It's swinging. They fighting. They swinging. Then you give this man his own show. Then when he tells you, I don't want this child, man, whatever, to go through glass, and he tells you to handle it, and you don't handle it, then he has to confront the man. Then that causes drama. Then they're fighting backstage, and then now you are a victim. You got a monitor thrown in your lap. You felt assaulted, and now you months later come out and put this video, which makes you look bad. Come on now, at a certain point, you have to accept ownership that you are not handling your business like a business. You're handling it like we're friends, we're Barney, and this is a show that never ends. That's lamb chop. I know. I had to catch that bird. That's that you can't keep doing this. The fact that this is now we've gotten to this. I don't know how many weeks that I had to run through 99 matches on ROH to get to this point. When you record, I know ROH from 3 months from now, J.News, because
Yeah.
it's out on the internet.
Mhm.
These flashbacks, great, but you are flashbacking sometimes long, drawn out matches that ain't got nothing to do with the show or the people who. Some people ain't even alive anymore, and you flashback into days that we are not in. We need to stay focused.
That's just something that he's trying to do with the video library. At the end of the day, that doesn't really have much to do.
He needs to sell it to Max or somebody, or rent it out or whatever. But the fact that you taking, sometimes we've had two flashbacks in the show. Like when I see the footnotes and they're like flashback on such and such day on such and such day, I'm looking at him like, why? Why are we doing this? We got 99 talents on ROH to fight for these spots. And then you come up and you want to flashback to Nigel. Now it was a good match. But did I need all the minutes of that match? Could you have put those matches on the app, gave me a teaser, then I make somebody pay for the rest? Yes. Well, it's already on there, but you know what I'm saying? It was a waste of time. And I think his priorities are messed up when it comes to that. I miss old AEW. The first few years, you couldn't prime me from watching AEW. AEW and WWE or GCW be on, I'm like, bump that, I'm going to watch AEW. And now I've gotten to the point where I'm like, also, I don't like ROH. Chris Jericho. Come on now. Can that man just stay at home sometimes? While you was sending Nick Nemeth at home, Brian Nemeth at home, Craig Jericho was out here doing crazy stuff.
They did have the segment there this week on ROH TV, which they plugged into the ROH show,
I was so mad. I turned
which,
my TV on.
which was the Jericho segment with Matt Cardona, having Matt Cardona come out and challenge him for the ROH World Championship at the final battle at the Hammerstein Ballroom, which I thought was pretty cool because it'll give ROH a different look, and obviously Matt Cardona has his own following and things of that nature. So I thought that was a cool bit to do.
No,
Um,
no, you know what that is, and
hmm,
that goes back to the conversation we had last week. GCW Matt Cardona is running the Hammer Star Ballroom with GCW.
hmm.
You let Chris Jericho go. That was one of the dates Ricky Starr's supposed to do. So it's okay for Jericho to go. You so up in arms about what they said about your daddy. Jericho can go, but Ricky
But
can't.
did Jericho make it to GCW recently?
No, it was that Dream On. We had Kurt Angle and Big Foley. Mm-mm.
Okay. Yeah, no. I think the whole. I understand that Matt Cardona is synonymous with GCW nowadays, but he is still an independent wrestler. He's not like he's uniquely signed to GCW. Um, and he's the one with out of all the guys on the indies right now, still to this day, even 5 years after the fact, he's the biggest name on the indie scene. At the end of the day, and I feel like
The only reason why I said GCW and Matt Cardona is because GCW is their whole the Hammer Style Ballroom. If
mhm,
you ever seen the GCW promo,
yeah,
Matt Cardona is the judge.
right,
All the wrestlers are getting
mhm,
prosecuted,
yeah,
and he was the head part of the ballroom's ad and promo
mhm,
to get people to come in.
right,
And so now he has this match with Jericho.
yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, to me, it's fine. I feel like it's a decent bit to do. He's a different wrestler. He's done AEW TV before, but he does have a level of, if you want to use a term or a phrase, cachet that comes with him because of his long tenure with the WWE. Um, he seems like the safest bet if they want to do some sort of a shift for ROH, especially being that the rumors for weeks, months at this point have been that Tony Khan's been trying to uh, basically maneuver himself to get a TV deal for ROH. So I also know Tony Khan to be a smart man, and even though he keeps Jericho on TV, I think the understanding is that people just don't vibe with that shit right now. So if they're willing to shift over to another former WWE name like a Matt Cardona, for example, and make him ROH champion, it might put a different spin and spotlight on ROH.
It comes off with GCW as we have because Matt has been there nonstop every
Mhm,
weekend. Even when he was injured, Brett let him to run GCW. That was his thing.
mhm,
Because Brett, even to the point where they were saying Matt was running GCW, Brett
mhm,
has been on commentary.
mhm,
So the owner of GCW is playing along with this so much. And now your top talent might become ROH champion.
mhm,
And then you're stuck running the same place, doing the same. It's like it comes off mean, like almost like you like, hey, I can do something you can't do, and I'm gonna take whoever you want to, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I think that's what a lot of people have a problem with GCW and East, and it's like Brett has. these relationships with everybody. He
Hmm.
works with everybody.
Yeah.
He wants to promote his company.
Hmm.
He's trying to keep his head above water.
Right.
If you listen to him last weekend, like I told you, that whole like most of the time Brett will say, "Oh yeah, he's smoking a whatever J," you know.
Hmm.
This time Brett was like, "Oh, the commission, that's not what he's doing. Oh, that's fake smoke. Oh," like he kept protecting himself.
Hmm.
And so I think Brett is at a point now where it's like, this is a competition. There's a difference. Yes, there's a difference between 1 and 2. But if you creeping up on 3, then somebody is definitely, going to take it. Because if most people don't know, Jacob Fatu was wrestling up until the moment he went to WWE and GCW. Nobody else would take him.
I thought he was an MLW guy.
He was in MLW for a little bit, and then he something happened there, and then he was in GCW, because then he was in GCW by himself for a while. Then, as we all know, Zilla got out of prison, worked for Reality of Wrestling, and then proceeded to come into GCW after his little altercation problem with Reality of Wrestling, and then again nobody would take him, and so they put them as a team together.
Mm.
That's why I thought when Zilla stopped really doing GCW for the seconds after Jacob left, and it had Zilla, the first 3 or 4 matches that Zilla and Jacob was supposed to be in schedule, they did Zilla and Juicy for now.
Mm.
And I was like, and then after that, he didn't do it as much. He was doing HOG and the rest of that. And I was like, well, maybe he coming to WWE. Then I don't forgot who it was. He had a problem with, and he said they weren't going to pay him, and then he had another problem with another company, and so it looks like I think it might have been GCW. He's having a lot of problems with companies. It seems like he feels like he's worth more than what they are.
Yeah, I think a perspective would be what you're saying, right?
And
That
he's definitely not coming to the. I'm not gonna say definitely. I feel as though he might not be coming to the WWE anytime soon
he's
because of
not
the words he had the other day.
he's not polished enough for it, one, and then secondarily, if he was really on the radar, he would have been one of the first people that WWE would have put that ID tag on and whatnot. The
But no,
dude,
his words the other day almost seemed like, from outside looking in,
mm,
Jake, they have had videos,
mm,
almost like docu series of him and Jacob working together. Jacob taking him under his wing.
right,
Jacob working with him.
mm,
And when asked on that podcast, whose side would you pick? The new bloodline or the old bloodline?
mm,
And the podcast man said, "Well, I already know who you're gonna pick, but just go ahead and say it." And he said, "I would pick the old bloodline." And the podcast man, just like me, was on the other end shocked. And he was like, "Well, I thought because of Zilla, not Zilla, because of Jacob, you would have chose that." And he's like, "I'm going to the one who calls me the most, who checks up on me the most. And Roman checks on me every day. He called me every day. And that's who I'm gonna show my loyalty to." And I was like,
that's. I mean, if that's his reality, you can't knock it.
and
But
I was like, but and he was like, well, also, he mentioned it too. Like I said, he said, also, how can I be with Solo when he took my damn move? And I was like, oh yeah,
I
you not coming to
mean,
WWE no time soon.
let's be real here for a moment. And like I said, a lot of the times when wrestlers go on to these podcasts and things of that nature, um, they're working for the sake of working. At the end of the day, a lot of that stuff is all tongue in cheek and it's in kayfabe. A lot of people think that kayfabe is dead. I really don't think it is at this point, just because folks are really towing that line between what's real and what's fake, quote unquote. Um, it seems like the kid has an attitude problem. That's the reality of it. Has
Good
nothing to do.
attitude.
Right. It seems like he has an attitude problem. Like I said, I don't know the kid personally. I'm not trying to knock him from the outside looking in. Brother, that is the perception. right? If your family, by majority, the ones who are wrestling are in one particular company, and you're the only one left out, there's got to be a reason, right? So that
Especially when you have the connection of Booker T.
right, and yet again, you if somebody's gonna put a good word in for you, obviously it's gonna be your family members and someone that you supposedly trained under, but ain't nobody putting in a good word for you, fam. So either you check yourself in the mirror or you do something different. Him being like a champion on HOG and like doing all these different indies and stuff like that, and finding himself in
I honestly
issues and
believe HOG and them gave him the title because he's in the headlines. He's walking around throwing the one up. He's
right,
doing
right,
a bad move. He is getting these interviews off his name and who he's related to.
sure,
And for you to flip the switch and just be like, it almost sounds like Jacob got to WWE, looked back and said, screw you, and just kept moving. Which most people who in other interviews have mentioned and talked about him said that they hear from him. They he's a cool dude. He's very nice, very calm. So it's like, why would you kick his back end of all people? That's the person who WWE right now is ranting and raving about. You should have gave him the spotlight. There would have been a closer chance for you to get in.
yeah. But at the end of the day, people always misconstrue things that are said and or done, and take people's actions and react a certain way that doesn't necessarily benefit them in the long run. But I don't know how we got the Zillafat too. I don't like. I'm not a fan of the wrestler, just because I feel like the kid is super green. So at the end of the day,
He's gotten better. I think he's better in hardcore matches.
look, anybody who's done hardcore matches can tell you, outside of the fact that you have to sell the hardcore aspect of it, it doesn't
He's not selling in those matches. He's more like giving. He's giving a lot. He's
then
giving.
at the end of the day, there's not much credence he's lending to these hardcore matches,
Yeah,
right? So
I
he
think he did better as a tag team with Jacob, and I think if he ever wanted to come into WWE, that was his only chance to.
no, he's
But
super young. He's got time. He's super young. That's the thing that people misconstrue about him. He's not 30. The kid's in his early 20s. He's got
yeah,
time.
but you also have to look at he has had multiple companies that he's had problems with. I
Uh-huh.
think 3 or 4 of them so far.
He's got to grow up,
He's
Delores.
he also has he started wrestling as soon as he got out of prison.
He's got
He
to grow up. That's it.
he
That's all it is.
he just I think he didn't show up for a match one time. It's like he does this type of stuff that gives you a bad rap.
Yeah.
And if your own family won't take time to vouch for you and they see how you are, you think if The Rock or Roman or Jacob and them was like, man, that man, he out of control. Ain't nothing I can do with him. Then they
Dude,
gonna fire him.
just
It gonna take you years and years and years, and by then this whole bloodline stuff is gonna disappear. You coming in is not gonna make any difference anymore.
at the end of the day, like I was saying, he's got to grow up. He's got to mature. Um, he's got to let go of all this, whatever it is that he's got in him. At
He's
the
got
end of the day,
anger. He's
so
angry at the world, but also I love him because he does do good work when he has a good
I've and this is my own subjective opinion. I've never watched a match of his and said, "Yo, that's dope."
I
I've never
have
sat there
okay,
and said,
now secretly I never have seen a one-on-one match and been like, yo, that's dope. But when him and Jacob were together, they were a powerhouse duo. And I saw it in him where I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And so before Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa came, I was like, them gonna be the duo that they date. Cause them two's are bad. I was there to took both of them other than Tonga. Listen, Tonga Loa, you make me sick. I was hurting yourself. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we on to AEW Rampage. As you see, Rampage took place on the 6th. It was at Rampage 174, non-title Continental Classic 2024 Blue League match. Kazuchika Okada at 4 defeated Mark Briscoe at 0. Non-title Continental Classic 2024 Blue League match. Daniel Garcia at 4 defeated the Beast Mortos at 0. The Vendetta, Deanna Peraza and Tyra Valkyrie defeated Ella Elizabeth and States. We had the Continental Classic 2024 Gold League match as Ricochet got 3 points, defeating Commander at 0. Any thoughts on this, J.News?
Where are we here? The Okada versus Mark Briscoe match was really good. This was the best. This
I like
particular
this one.
episode of Rampage was the best episode of Rampage in quite some time. All the Continental Classic matches worked. They were good. Shouts to Frank, aka the Beast Mortos, for doing the damn thing against Danny. Mark Briscoe showed a lot of heart and good battle against Okada. I did not see Deanna Purrazzo and Taya Valkyrie doing a squash match versus some ladies. Uh, big shouts to Ella. Big shouts to Ella Elizabeth for taking the entire brunt of all the damage. Freya States didn't do shit, so I don't know what that was about. And Ricochet and Commander was a banger. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think this Rampage and Collision were the best in a long time, which surprised me. Ladies and gentlemen, next up, AEW Collision. Ladies and gentlemen, AEW Collision was on the 7th yesterday. It was Collision 72. We had a Continental Classic Gold League match. Darby Allin at 3 defeated Commander at 0. Wrestle Dynasty International Women's Cup Qualifier Tournament Semifinal Match. Willow Nightingale defeated Serena Deeb. Non-title Continental Classic 2024 Blue League match. Kyle Fletcher at 9 defeated Kazuchika Okada at 4. The Beast Mortos defeated Aaron Solo. Mina Shirakawa defeated Emi Sakura. And then last but not least, the non-title Continental Classic 2024 Blue League match. Mark Briscoe at 3 defeated Daniel Garcia at 4. Any thoughts, J News?
Another solid episode of Collision here. The as the C2 continues, Darby versus Commander. Commander was the perfect choice for Tony Khan to replace Juice Robinson. I know a lot of people online didn't think so, but he's been doing great work since he's been the replacement for Juice. So shouts to Commander. His match versus Darby was a banger. Didn't get to watch the Willow Nightingale versus Serena Deeb match. I don't know how that necessarily went, but Willow won. I'm a ride or die with Willow at the end of the day. So I want to see that match between her and Jamie Hayter to see who goes on to the Tokyo Dome. Kyle Fletcher versus Okada was the best match of the night. I couldn't believe they actually had Kyle Fletcher beat Okada. So that was a finish there or booking decision there that it seems to be that they're really trying to elevate Kyle Fletcher to a very higher position in the company. Frank beating Aaron Solo was something that you could see from a mile away. I was a little bit, I don't want to say disappointed, but I thought we could have gotten more out of Mina Shirakawa versus Emi Sakura, and we didn't. So I'll say that about that. But Mina obviously was going to get the win with her going into Winter is Coming against Mariah May, and then Mark Briscoe and Daniel Garcia had what I would consider to be if you were to put this in, like, let's say a main event in prime ROH, it would have been, this is the kind of match that you would have seen. So great on Mark Briscoe and Daniel Garcia putting on this match. Classic graps. Mark Briscoe finally getting his first win in the tournament. A couple of matches in instead of towards the tail end. So solid episode of Collision.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on to TNA Wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, this was TNA 1063 on the 5th, ladies and gentlemen. And as you see, the matches are listed on the screen. TNA X Division number one contendership 5-way match. Kushida defeated Ace Austin, JDC, Leon Slater, and Trent Seven. PCO and Sammy Keller. PCO makes me sick. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I couldn't control it. PCO and Sammy Callahan defeated the Good Hands of Jason Hotch and John Schuyler. TNA World Tag Team Title match: the Hardys, Jeff and Matt Hardy, defeated the System of Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards by disqualification. Uh, Tasha Steele defeated Jordan Grace. Frankie Kazarian and the Northern Armory of Josh Alexander, Judas Icarus, Travis Williams defeated Eric Young, Jonathan Grisham, Mike Santana, and Steve Macklin. Ladies and gentlemen, I know my good brother does not watch this, but I can tell you, Jordan Grace, girl, they beating you and every which way but loose on your way out the door. Because if you sign again, I'm gonna be very disappointed. Very disappointed. J.News got anything you want to say?
Um, I would like to say that it seems that they're pushing Kushida, which is interesting to see on TNA. Um, we'll see if Jordan Grace actually does make um, the decision to leave TNA when her contract ends next year. And for all intents and purposes, the one person that I do know who's leaving after February 14th of 2025 is Josh Alexander. He spoke about his pending free agency candidly on the Chris Van Vliet podcast this past week. Um, and I just wonder what is going to become of Josh Alexander after his pending free agency. I
You
don't.
know what really made me mad?
Hmm.
And I talked about this in the chat somewhere. Moose, you let them ragdoll you, treat you, mistreat you, and then you signed again. And at some point, Moose, I'm out here fighting to win for you, and you ain't fighting for yourself. We just need to go.
He's happy where he's at, Dolores. He doesn't feel mistreated.
I think he really did during that time that he was getting mistreated real bad. He was training with WWE superstars. Most people don't pay attention to social media. That's my thing. I have to watch it. So he was training with Dawkins,
I mean,
Natalia.
a
What's her
lot of
name?
a lot of talent, non WWE, WWE, AEW talent, they train in that dungeon with Natty.
Yeah,
So,
but I know he was specifically training with them even before Natty got involved because he was training Naya. That was right
mm,
before Naya came back and she was fired.
mm,
And so they were even going out, hanging out. So it was like, okay, they were having these. He was hanging around WWE very often.
mm.
And so it looked like he was going to WWE. That's why everybody was shocked that he signed back with TNA. I was shocked when the Hardys came back to TNA and we signed. I was like, hey,
I wasn't.
I was shocked only because they had the documentary with WWE and it looked like that was toward the end of their contract. Like they might be coming back to WWE. So that's what confused me.
A
But
lot.
WWE, I need you all to take ownership that sometimes, and I've heard this in so many interviews, talent is interested in coming to WWE. You all do not reach out to call back.
I mean, it's up to them if they want to book the talent or contract the talent. At the end of the day, I can't blame them for whether or not they want to or not. I know that Matt Hardy has said in recent interviews or his own podcast that he wants to have one last run in the WWE if he can. Um,
I think the WWE is about, I'm gonna be honest, about money. For those who don't understand, some people stand on principles.
sure.
I have certain principles when it comes to things. Now, Saturday night main event, I was somewhat excited about it. I love my boy Cody. I will be there. Do you think I'm excited to see that red and yellow man from Florida? No. No.
Did they confirm that?
And they said that they probably gonna bring him and Jesse Ventura and somebody
No,
else.
Jesse's doing commentary.
And it's like
Jesse's doing commentary.
this is not the first time that I brought the red and yellow man back.
I
And then
get
and now that the red and yellow man's orange friend has won, they probably most likely will bring him back.
I don't speak on that
The
crap.
way Triple H was like just snitting and grinning and shaking hands with the orange man, I feel like he don't care.
No one cares as long as it looks and smells green. People don't care.
And so
Um,
the nostalgia of bringing the red and yellow man back
I'm not
will
sure.
provide them the money to want to bring him back. I mean, he's on the Legends deal, so
I mean, a lot of people are on Legends deals.
no. But this is the thing about it. He got his Legend deal during the controversy he had the
Mhm.
last time
Yeah,
when he allegedly, I'm gonna say allegedly, even though we all saw the video and saw him. Okay, allegedly threw a can and knocked a woman upside the head, and then said he was gonna body slam the vice president. Allegedly, he said it wasn't him, but we saw it. So, but whatever.
at
You
the
want
end
to
of
play
the
dumb?
day,
I'll play stupid. We'll be together. Okay.
I just wanted to make the point about the Hardys. Matt Hardy wanting to make a comeback to WWE eventually to end their careers and stuff like that. Like that's admirable and all, but at this point, what they can give back to the business is more behind the scenes than it is in the ring.
I think they could do more NXT wise,
Sure.
and you have a lot of people who. A part of me wants the Hardys to be like that. I don't know why this comes to me right now. But you know that Dave Chappelle episode when he brought the J into the school to tell the kids not to be a J. But he
Yeah.
described this like it details what a J does and
Right.
is and where to go pick it up at.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want the Hardys to be. It's like, hey, you shouldn't jump off this top of this top thing. But if you do, make sure you climb up safely. Fly off at an angle. Like I want them to teach kids how to do what they did, but in a better way.
Yeah, there's no way around that necessarily. But like I said, they still have.
You see some of these people in NXT and WWE do like that, even that outside fly over the ropes or through the ropes.
Hmm,
Horrible. They are horrible. They
man,
are horrible. They don't catch each other. They let each other smack into the announce table, fly
I,
off. They
I,
5 yards away from the person.
I've seen a lot of instances where a lot of people have, in especially with NXT, where a lot of the talent would jump from inside the ring to the outside of the ring, and like you said, they wouldn't be caught. They would land smack down on the floor, and it's like y'all can't be doing that, man. Like there's just no way around that. You got to be better about that stuff and whatnot. But like I said, I feel like the Hardys have a lot left to give the wrestling industry as a whole. But like in the ring, as a fan who's been watching them their entire careers, there's nothing left for me to see the Hardys do in the
They
ring.
don't. They're. I know for Matt. I can't speak for Jeff.
Mhm.
Matt is at a point in his life he don't really never have to work again. He never got to work a day in his life again. And if you all know what I'm talking about, some people don't like her, some people do. I love her. Rebby is now a big time social media person.
Is she? I didn't know that.
Yes. She visits conventions. She does different things. I've learned over her social media that Rebby was pretty, not a star, but she was well known in the celebrity world and did not even know it. She was on, I think she was on a Fat Joe cover.
Oh, that's interesting.
She's been in music videos. She's been in different. She was a Playboy girl. She's been everywhere. And so at a certain point, everybody, she's picked up social media. She does social media with the family, you know, how she keeps up with the compound, how she changes for different holidays. Her baby is now has a content. Her baby now goes to signings for people to take pictures with her. There are family that is, and she even tried to get a like a first wives club thing together. I don't
Mm,
know if it's ever going to come out. I hope it does. It has like Ric Flair's wife, Jack Swagger's ex-wife, some other people. It's like five or six. Tyrus's wife. It has like a whole bunch of them.
mm,
And so she does, and she does a lot of the recording and video stuff for the what Matt and Jeff do on the compound.
mm.
So she has a lot of talent, and I'm pretty sure her using it. Because now, once I found out about it, I was like, oh, and she was like, yeah, I'll do this and I do that and I do this and I do that, and I'm like, oh, so she's like, and she started counting her money at one of the showings, and it was like giant stack, and I was like, sis, y'all ain't never got to work a day in your life again. I wish I was you. Make me you again. Ladies and gentlemen, we go through GCW. I know my good brother doesn't know any of this. So that's why we're going to hit this quickly. GCW 12-1. Say you will. Ladies and gentlemen, the matches are on the screen. Griffin McCoy and Kerry Morton defeated Bang and Matthews of August Matthews and David Bang. Man Like DeReese defeated Brooke Havoc. Sidney Akeem, Smoking and Reggie, defeated Zachary Rentz. Megan Bain defeated Shane Mercier. GCW Tag Team title match, Violence is Forever, which consists of Dominic Gennari and Kevin Koo, defeated the Soul. I'm not going to say the rest of their name. Acid Jazz and Marsh Rocket. We had Garbage Daddies of Alex Price and Cole Radrick defeat Hot Commodity of Hayden Buckland and Trevor Outlaw. We had Matthew Justice defeat Luke Nixon. We had Gringo Loco defeat Microman. Boo, he squashed that man. Effie defeated John Wayne Murdoch. And for the GCW World title match, Mance Warner defeated Kylie Ray. Ladies and gentlemen, 12-6, you had GCW Ransom. Give me that money. Ladies and gentlemen, on the first set of graphics, we had the Garbage Daddies of Alex Price and Cole Radrick defeat Culture Inc. of Eli Knight and Malik Bowes, and the Bob Squad of Bobby Flacco and Teriyaki, and the main event of Jay Lyons and Midas Black. We had Megan Bain defeat Marcus Mathers, Sidney Akeem defeat Man Like DeReese, Jack Cartwell defeat Rich Swan, John Wayne Murdoch defeating Lindsay Snow. Slow. Ladies and gentlemen, for the GCW four-way title match, Masha Slamovich defeated One Kyle Manders, Gringo Loco, and Sam Stackhouse. Joey Janela defeated Zachary Wentz. In a six-person scramble match, Blake Christian defeated Charlie Tiger, Griffin McCoy, Jamie Signal, and Mr. Danger and Maddox. Okay, for the GCW Tag Team title, Violence is Forever. Dominic Gennari and Kevin Koo defeated Deathmatch Royalty, Abroski, Jimmy, and Matt Cardona. Effie defeated Jay Vidal. And for the GCW World Title match, Mance Warner defeated Fuego del Sol. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're on to my favorite show so far, because as we know, it's pink. It is Mastermind from GCW. Ladies and gentlemen, Mastermind took place on the 7th, which was yesterday. Gringo Loco defeated Rico Gonzalez. Garbage Daddies of Alex Price and Cole Radrick defeated the Bob Squad of Bobby Flacco and Teriyaki. Allie Cash defeated Hunter Drake. Jack Cartwheel defeated Fuego del Sol. Megan Bain defeated Man Like DeReese. One Kyle Manders defeated Griffin McCoy. Joey Janela defeated Jimmy Wayne Yang. Yes, I did say it right, ladies and gentlemen. Jimmy Wayne Yang. Jazzy Yang defeated uh, Adam Priest, Ariel Van Gogh, Blake Christian, Jaden Newman, and Jay Lucas. I would say that was a wild, crazy, different type of match. It was just a little bit of everywhere, a little clustery. We had a death match. Mr. Danger, watch yourself, defeated John Wayne Murdoch. I don't keep wanting to call him Jane. John Wayne Murdoch. Effie defeated Brusky Jimmy. And for the GCW World Title Death Match, Mance Warner defeated Tank. On to the next show, Defy Progress equals Onslaught. This time it was in Chicago, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Progress Protest title match. The champion Simon Miller defeated Broski Jimmy. In AAW tag team title match, Russ Jones and Scoff defeated Sunshine Machine of Chuck Mambo and TK Cooper. Car Noir defeated Timothy Thatcher. Progress Women title, Riho defeated Vert Vixen by countout. Defy tag team title match, Los Desperados. Ares and Gringo Loco defeated C4 of Cody Chun and Guillermo Rosas. There was a title change. Mustafa Ali defeated Kevin Knight. I love Mustafa Ali. Listen, I would say this match and the I wouldn't say the women's match was good, but I kind of liked it. It wasn't what I thought it. The way it ended, I didn't like it. Mustafa Ali defeated Kevin Knight. Progress World Title match. Luke Jacobs kept his championship by defeating Man Like Doris. Now we're gonna go on to something that sometimes you just say, Dolores, why did you watch that? And I'm gonna say, because I can. It was Eric Bischoff's One Shot 2024 by MLW. These are the matches below. Max Kruger defeated Thunder. Dalmi Exo defeated Ava Everett. UWFI rules match. My boy, give him a hand clap of praise. He also roasted Eric Bischoff. My man, the man. Alex Kane defeated Bobby Fish. If you have not seen the clip, go and find it, ladies and gentlemen. Months ago, Alex Kane roasted Bobby Fish. I mean, he roasted him so bad. Even I was like, please let up off this man, please. MLW World Middleweight Title versus Mask match. Mystico won, defeating Trevor Lee. Matt Riddle defeated Donovan Dijak by DQ. NYC Street Fight. The Andersons, Brock and C.W. Anderson, defeated Matthew Justice and Paul Walter Hauser. Yes, I said it right. Award-winning Paul Walter Hauser. MLW World Tag Team Title match. Cozy Max, Okamura, and Kojima defeated Contra Unit of Quan and Monaro Suzuki in a title change. Ladies and gentlemen, I would just say, if you watch MLW, watch Alex Kane. Boomaye! That's what I would say. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on to New Japan Pro Wrestling, and this is J.News.
We're on to the World Tag League 2024 as it broke down throughout the week.
Hi!
We have the upcoming dates. I'll run this myself here. Representing A Block, we have the teams Bishiman, Hiroki Goto, and Yoshihashi. Bullet Club, Chase Owens and Kenta. Shota Umino, Tomoaki Hama, United Empire, Jeff Cobb and Callum Newman. Word Tag Team, Alexander and Reisuke Taguchi. Funky Salsa Team. Los Ingobernables de Japón, Shingo Takagi and Yota Tsuji. TMDK, Zack Sabre Jr. and Ryohei Oiwa. Bullet Club War Dogs had Gabe Kidd and Sonata representing for their side. That's A block. B block side had the United Empire members Great Okan and Hanare. Just four guys, Saka Michinoku and Tai Chi. TMDK, Shane Haston, Mikey Nichols. No single winners that happens. Tetsuya Naito and Hiromu Takahashi. Hiroshi Tanahashi and Jado. Natural Classics. And I've been saying these names wrong the entire time. It is Tom and Stevie Philippe. Toriano and Bolton Oleg. House of Torture members Ren Rita Evil.
I think I might have said Tom and Stevie one time, and I thought after you said it, I was like, well, I must have been wrong.
No, because it's it is what it is at this point. But we have the show from the second. We have the Young Lions Shomakato defeating Masatori Yasuda. I believe this was last Monday. So last Monday, during this Young Lion match, unfortunately, Masatori Yasuda got injured during the match. It was pretty not a pretty sight, to say the least. So they had to switch around all the different Young Lion assignments for the rest of the tour this week because of Yasuda's injury. We then had the United Empire's Great Okan Hanare and Jacob Boston Young defeating Bullet Club members Gato, Stevie, and Tom Philippe. Just four guys, Doki, Taichi, and Taka Michinoku defeated TMDK members Kosei Fujita, Mikey Nichols, and Shane Hayes. Kosei Fujita had his ass out for the world to see on social media during this week. And I'm talking literally, folks. There was a photo of him. He likes to do a lot of mountain climbing and walks in nature and things of that nature. And there was a very artistic yet tasteful yet nude photo of Kosei Fujita from the backside that was running rampant all over the internet during the week. So I wanted to mention that just for the ladies, if you wanted to go search that up. Oleg Bolton, Tiger Mask, and Toru Yano defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi, Jado, and Katsuya Murashima. Rosen Gobanabas Japon, Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, and Tetsuya Naito defeat House of Torture members Dick Togo, Evil, and Ren Narita. In Block A action, we have Bullet Club members Chase Owens and Kenta defeat Chota Umino and Tomoaki Hana. Bullet Club War Dog members Gabe Kidd and Sonata defeated Funky Sauce of Alex Zane and Ryosuke Taguchi. We then go to Bishamon team, Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi defeating United Empire's Kyle Newman and Jeff Cobb. We then have Los Ingobernables and Happon, Shingo Takagi, and Yoda Tsuji defeating TMDK members Ryohei Oiwa and Zack Sabre Jr. We then go on to the fourth. We have Bullet Club members Chase Owens and Kenta defeating Murashima along with Ryosuke Taguchi, if I'm not mistaken here. It was Alex Zane and Katsuya Murashima that had Taguchi in their corner. Bullet Club War Dog members Gabe Kidd, Gato, and Sonata defeated Bishamon members Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi along with Shomakato. Los Ingobernables de Happon, Bushi, Shingo Takagi, and Yoda Tsuji defeated Shota Umino, Tiger Mask, and Tomoaki Hama. TMDK members Kosei Fujita, Ryohei Oiwa, and Zack Sabre Jr. defeated United Empire members Callum Newman, Jacob Austin Young, and Jeff Cobb. Black B action saw TMDK's Mikey Nichols and Shane Hayes defeat just four guys, Tai Chi and Taka Michinoku. United Empire's Great Okan and Hanare defeated the Natural Classics of Stevie and Tom Philippe. We then had Oleg Bolton and Toriano defeat Hiroshi Tanahashi and Jado. And Los Ingobernables Japons, Hiromu Takahashi and Tetsuya Naito defeat House of Torture members Evil and Ren Narita with Dick Togo in their corner. We then go on to the shows on the 5th. We'd had Shomakato defeat Taiki Nagai. Just four guys, Doki, Taichi, and Taka Michinoku defeated Bullet Club members Gato, Stevie, and Tom Philippe. TMDK members Kosei Fujita, Mikey Nichols, and Shane Hayes defeat Oleg Bolton, Tiger Mask, and Toriano. House of Torture members Dick Togo, Evil, and Ren Narita defeat Hiroshi Tanahashi, Jado, and Katsuya Murashima. Los Ingobernables de Happon, Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, and Tetsuya Naito defeat United Empire members Great Okan, Hanare, and Jacob Austin Young by referee stoppage. We then have Block A action that continued. Funky Sauce, Alex Zane, and Ryosuke Taguchi defeated Bullet Club members Chase Owens and Kenta. TMDK members Ryohei Oiwa and Zack Sabre Jr. defeated United Empire's Callum Newman and Jeff Cobb due to referee stoppage. I believe this was the show, if I'm not mistaken here. The two referee stoppage matches, the earlier match of LIJ versus the United Empire, that was a referee stoppage due to an injury that occurred to Hanare. And then the referee stoppage match of TMDK versus United Empire, which had Callum Newman and Jeff Cobb in it, that was a referee stoppage match due to the fact that Callum Newman got also uh, didn't get got, but he also befell to an injury there. So Callum Newman and Hanare of the United Empire uh, had pretty severe injuries on that particular show and had to be taken out of the show. And so um, New Japan Pro Wrestling had to pivot, and that's going to be shown in the coming shows. We then had the continued Block A action. We had Shota Umino and Tomoaki Hanma defeat Los Ingobernables de Japón, Shingo Takagi and Yota Tsuji. Bullet Club War Dog members Gabe Kidd and Sonata defeated Bishimon's Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi. We then move on to the sixth. We had Los Ingobernables de Japón, Hiromu and Naito defeat Katsura Murashima and Shomakato. Bullet Club members Chase Owens, Gabe Kidd, Kenta, and Sonata defeat Bishimon's Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi, along with Funky Sauce's Alex Zane and Reisuke Taguchi. Los Ingobernables de Japón, Bushi, Shingo Takagi, and Yota Tsuji defeated United Empire members Great O'Khan, Jacob Austin Young, and Jeff Cobb. We then had TMDK's Kosei Fujita, Ryohei Oiwa, and Zack Sabre Jr. defeat Shota Umino, Tiger Mask, and Tomoaki Hanma. Block B ended up with the natural classics of Stevie and Tom Philippe defeating Just Four Guys of Tai Chi and Taka Michinoku. Oleg Bolton and Toru Yano defeated TMDK's Mikey Nichols and Shane Haste. House of Torture members Evil and Ren Narita, along with Dick Togo, defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi and Jado. And then Los Ingobernables de Japón, Hiromu Takahashi and Tetsuya Naito defeated House of Torture members Evil and Ren Narita, along with Dick Togo in their corner in the Block B final match. And they also defeated Oleg Bolton and Toru Yano. So that was a three-way match where the LIJ members got the win for there. So then we go on to the next show, which happened this morning on the 8th. We had the entry match, the first match, which happened, which was Tiger Mask, the OG, defeating Daiki Nagai, the Young Lion. TMDK's Mikey Nichols and Shane Haste defeated Katsuya Murashima and Sho Makato. Bishimon's Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi defeated Natural Classics Stevie and Tom Philippe. Just Four Guys, Doki, Taichi, and Taka Michinoku defeated United Empire's Great O'Khan, Jacob Austin Young, and Jeff Cobb. We then had Los Ingobernables de Japón, Bushi, Shingo Takagi, and Yota Tsuji defeat Bullet Club members Chase Owens, Gato, and Kenta. House of Torture members Evil, Ren Narita, Sho Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and Yujiro Takahashi defeat Hiroshi Tanahashi, Jado, Oleg Bolton, Tomoaki Hanma, and Toru Yano by DQ. TMDK's Kosei Fujita, Ryohei Oiwa, and Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Funky Sauce, Alex Zane, and Reisuke Taguchi, along with Shota Umino. And then the World Tag League Finals had the Los Ingobernables de Japón, Hiromu Takahashi, and Tetsuya Naito defeating Bullet Club War Dog members Gabe Kidd and Sonata. Out of the World Tag League win, the team that won, the LIJ team of Hiromu and Tetsuya Naito, instead of taking their tag team win and challenging for the IWGP World Heavyweight Tag Team Championships, due to the fact that we don't know what's going to be happening with the IWGP World Heavyweight Championships, because they'll eventually be vacated due to Hanare's injury. We're going to be seeing a one-on-one special singles match between Hiromu Takahashi and Tetsuya Naito, which is something that Hiromu Takahashi has been wanting to do for years, because his goal has always been to headline a Wrestle Kingdom pay-per-view. And now that he's going to be able to wrestle one of the top heavyweights of all time in New Japan Pro Wrestling and Tetsuya Naito, to see if he can test his mettle there, they made that specialty singles match for Wrestle Kingdom on January 4th. So there we have that. And now we're going to go on to the previews, folks. So on the preview tip, we have WWE action coming to us this weekend on December 14th. Saturday night's main event makes its return to NBC. So anywhere you have or where you catch or watch NBC, you can watch Saturday night's main event on Saturday, December 14th. I believe it's at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll have, as of right now, the matches that have been booked is the WWE Women's United States Title Tournament final match, which is going to be between two of the ladies from SmackDown. We then have the WWE Women's World Title match, which is going to have Liv Morgan versus Io Sky. WWE World Heavyweight Title match is going to have Gunther going up against Finn Balor of the Judgment Day. Sorry about that. And then we're going to have the WWE title match, which is going to have Cody Rhodes go up against Kevin Owens. That'll be Saturday night's main event on Saturday, December 14th. They're going to go a little retro on that night. We're going to have old school WWE talent from the late 70s and early 80s. The former governor of Minnesota, Jesse the Body Ventura, is going to be on commentary that night. So that's going to be a throwback feel. I believe they're also doing a retro set for Saturday night's main event as well, and they plan to bring back a couple of the legends that they have on Legends deals. I believe Dolores mentioned it earlier about the Red and Yellow Man. I'm not sure if that's been confirmed or not. I know it's been rumored, but I'm not sure if it's been confirmed as of yet. But they also plan to have other WWE legends appear on that night for next Saturday.
Listen, they got to worry about me. They're ready, yellow man appear. Ladies and gentlemen, we got TNA. TNA, it is TNA Final Resolution, ladies and gentlemen. And as you saw, Final Resolution will be happening on the 13th, which is the Friday before. It will be the Countdown Show does not have any matches listed as of right now. But the actual main event show does. TNA World Title Number One Contendership four-way match. Josh Alexander versus Steve Macklin versus Joe Hendry versus Mike Santana. We have TNA X Division title match. Moose the Champion versus Kushida. TNA Knockouts World's title match. Masha Slamovich versus Tasha Steele. For the TNA World Tag Team title tables match, the Hardys of Jeff and Matt Hardy versus the System of Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards. TNA title match, Nick Nemeth, the champion, versus, oh God, AJ Francis. Jesus save me, please. Ladies and gentlemen, Wrestling Revolver. Wrestling Revolver presents season finale. We do not have any matches listed so far, but it will occur on the 13th, so we will let you know. Hey, Stephen Chambers, how you doing? Ladies and gentlemen, we are on now to. Wait a minute. There we go. Did I skip something? There we go. GCW. And GCW will be presenting the first night will be Scene of the Crime, which is on December the 13th. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to be the scene of the crime. We have Ray, or how you pronounce that, J.News, because I'm about to mess it up. Oris,
Yeah,
or
Ray Oris. Exactly. Yeah, Ray Oris. Mm-hmm.
that's I was like, let me make sure. Ray Oris versus Sidney Akeem, Rich Swan versus Man Like DeReese, Matthew Justice versus Broski Jimmy, Garbage Daddies of Alex Price and Cole Radrick versus the Wolf Zaddies of Bad Dude Tito and Che Cabrera. Megan Bain versus Dulce Tormenta. Did I make J.News proud?
You got it. You got it. Absolutely.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, on the 14th, some of you all might do it, I don't. But some of you all at GCW definitely will be the highest in the room. 3, ladies and gentlemen. I kind of like the highest in the room shows, make me a little fun. As you see, the Stoner brothers are Rick Scott Stoner and Scott Rick Stoner versus the Garbage Daddies of Alex Price and Cole Radrick. We have Alley Catch versus Viperous. Willie Mack versus Sidney Akeem. Matt Cardona versus Effie. We have a blood sport match of Josh Burnett versus Royce Isaacs. Brooke Havoc versus Zara Zakir. Uh, Janela Sus. Listen, him and his girlfriend can have it. Joey Janela and Megan Bain versus the Rich and the Powerful of Peril and Richard Holiday. We have Deathmatch Royalty of Broski Jimmy and Mance Warner versus Los Desperados of Ares and Gringo Loco. And we have Matthew Justice versus Dr. Redacted. Now we're on to J.News' part. New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Right, because we have the Long Beach show coming up, Strong Style Evolved 2024. We have Matt Vandergriff, the one and only Iron Survivor, going one-on-one against Zane J. I believe this will be where the tide turns. Zayn J, I believe, will finally get the win over Matt Vandegrift, and Matt Vandegrift will go on his merry way to do something different. Me and Shirakawa will go up against Johnny Robbie. El Hechicero will go one-on-one versus Leo Rush. Los Ingobernables Japón, Hiromu Takahashi, and Titan will go up against United Empire's Jacob Austin Young and probably the Great Okan, being that Hanare is injured. TJP will be in a four-way match against Clark Connors, Kevin Knight, and Kosei Fujita. Jack Perry of HOT fame and the Elite fame, along with his random tag team partner Konosuke Takeshita, will go up against the LIJ team of Shingo Takagi and Yota Tsuji. The NJPW Strong Openweight Tag Team title match will have the champions, the grizzled young veterans of James Drake and Zach Gibson, go up against the West Coast Wrecking Crew of Jarrell Nelson and Royce Isaacs. Hope to God that GYV beats the crap out of the West Coast Wrecking Crew. We then have the NJPW Strong Openweight title match, which I have Gabe Kidd go one-on-one against Ryohei Oiwa. That should be a banger. And then the main event is going to be the NJPW Strong Women's title match, which is going to see the champion, Mercedes Moné, go one-on-one against Stardom's own Hazuki.
Ladies and gentlemen, this brings you to the end of our reviews and previews, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you're going to get your girl, Delores, to talk about her spotlight. So let's get to the end. We're gonna put us side by side, side by side. Okay, so we're at the end, ladies and gentlemen. But it's time for the spotlight. Me in the spotlight. I have my spotlight this week. And my spotlight goes to Oba Phoebe. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, I love me some Oba Phoebe. That man brings me so much joy. But also, it was good to see him like dominate. And then not only did he dominate, at the end he pinned two men to win to be the Iron Survivor. Now this week on Tuesday we get to hear from Obafemi. I'm hoping this goes well because the last few times we heard from Obafemi, I wanted somebody to take the microphone. But ladies and gentlemen, Obafemi is a good-hearted person who dominates, is strong, and is an upcoming talent. You're gonna have to watch out for, because when he comes up to the main roster, he can't do nothing with him at this point. Ladies and gentlemen, my spotlight of the week, Uba Femi. Ladies and gentlemen. So let me bring my good brother J.News back. Back again. And then we're gonna come back into the studio. How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? How you doing, J.News?
Doing all right. Just getting some interesting sports news in the last 10 minutes or so. So,
Listen, I want to say go dogs.
God, man, listen,
Go dogs. Go Packers.
whatever.
Go Braves. If you ain't none of them, don't go. To you Falcons fans, I want to tell you, what did you expect? I hear y'all crying and whining. I know. But what did you expect? Shout out to my girl Leilani, my niece. Her and her team won the championship in cheer. So I'm proud of my girl. But we're about to have J.News step up to the plate. Go J.News, go J.News, go. And J.News is about to tell you about himself, his channel.
Yeah. So folks, as always, much appreciated for everybody watching the live stream here, checking us out. Here at the Hit the Ropes podcast on a weekly basis every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check out me and the lovely Delores, where we talk everything that was the week in pro wrestling. Also, yeah, Steven Chambers. I'm a Mets fan, by the way, brother. So thanks for the message. We are gonna do our best to continue to bring you guys this content on a weekly basis. I am also on True Heel Heat. On the True Heel Heat podcast. I was on there earlier today. Me, SP3, and the lovely Sanal breaking down what was the New Japan Pro Wrestling Tag League Finals of today. We'll be back on Friday afternoon previewing the Strong Style Evolved show. So check us out there on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, and then you can also check me out on my YouTube channel as well. I have older movie reviews from movies from 2023 on there if you want to catch some of my viewpoints and opinions on those movies as well. 2025 is going to be a new year for me. I hope to have new content up for you guys up there in regards to my movie watching and things of that nature. So that's my hope going into 2025. The QR code here leads you to my link tree, which has all my links to my social media as well as my Letterbox account, which is another place where I write my movie reviews as well. So you can check out all of the movies that I've watched in theaters this year. I only post about movies that I watch in theaters because the at home is there is nothing like the movie theater experience in my eyes. So I only post and write about movies that I watch in theaters, not things that I watch at home. So just be aware of that. So you can check my reviews out on the Letterbox there as well. And you can always reach out or comment, or if you have anything to say via the socials on Twitter and Instagram and Threads and whatever have you. So there's that about me, your good brother, J.News, aka John L., your friendly neighborhood moviegoer.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, he did a good job. Listen, you don't go J.News, I'm gonna have to karate chop you in the face. I can't even punch you in the face today, but karate chop you. For those Ruby who might catch this or anybody else, y'all know why I can't punch you right now. But karate chop you if you don't go to check out J.News. Because he's a good man, Savannah. He's a good man. He's a good man, Savannah. Doing all the hard work here on the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna open myself. Not pause. Uh, this is my QR code. Hi, I'm Dolores. I'm a pink girl in my pink world here on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, when I say I'm a pink girl, pink cups, pink microphone, pink everything. You get to come and live in my world. I teach you about Canva and how to upgrade your business and your social medias. I can teach you about different games. I got to start on, I know next year, start off actually gaming and putting my game play out there. I do video games, play a lot of different video games. I'm more of a PC girl. I haven't gotten a system, hadn't had a system in years. So that's what I do here on the channel. Do wrestling reviews, do wrestling watch alongs. We have a good time. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to whip out the paper so I can remember because it's a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, every day till Christmas, we will have something on this channel, whether it was a video, a short, a community post. Every Monday, starting last week, but every Monday it is Canva Christmas. That's when I teach you something in Canva you can use for your Christmas to make personalized gifts. Tuesday, it is a short. It is Christmas quotes along with my favorite Christmas music. Wednesday is a post. It's a Christmas joke, ladies and gentlemen, because I like to giggle and laugh too. And I thought some jokes that were funny I put out there to come out every Wednesday on my community tab. Thursday is Conversation with Delores. I put out a topic and you all put in the comments your answers and we could talk back and forth, because some people might see that you might have a tradition you like to do here or you like to do this and they might incorporate it in their lives on an everyday basis. On Friday is Dolores Loves Art. It's the Christmas edition. We already had episode 1. Episode 2 is already loaded up. Saturday is Christmas quizzes. We will have a quiz out on the community tab, something about Christmas. See if you get it right. See if you can beat the quiz. And then on Sunday, every Sunday is the Hit the Ropes podcast live here at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you scan the QR code. I have every social media. I have to add my blue sky onto it, but Every social media that I have is on there. They wanted to put me back in my spot. It was like, no, I want to be in J.News. I was like, no, don't do me like this. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you all coming. I really do. J.News, you got anything you want to say to the good people?
Um, Appreciate y'all as usual, man. Wouldn't be able to get on here and create this content without you guys watching and liking and subscribing to our individual channels and participating in the chat as well. So thank you for everybody who's written anything in the chat to be involved with the conversation and or either one of us individually. Much appreciated to everybody there. And yeah, more stuff, more content to come from Dolores. In the new year, you'll hopefully be seeing more things coming from me. Um, I have a very unique idea as to what I want to do with my friendly neighborhood moviegoer podcast, and I'm going to uh, take a leap of faith and a shot in the dark, and hopefully it works out. Because I got a very unique idea about it, so we'll see.
Listen, I got faith in you. I know you can do it. Listen, little old me, who can be a little bit erratic about putting out content, especially great content. But I do good content. Listen, sometimes it can be great, sometimes it can be good. It ain't gonna be never horrible, okay? But I got higher standards because your good sis likes to sit down for hours and figure things out. I'm like J.News, I'm particular about certain things. I'm learning to kind of like ease away from the particularness. Like if a beat don't hit right on the video, I know it'll take it like 20 minutes to fix it. Now, like, let it just go. If it's gonna stop, stop. Let's just let it do it. But you get better with time, and trust me, it's not easy. It's not easy, especially with me doing these 31 days of Christmas. Yay, Christmas. Makes me not like Christmas no more. Okay. I got 4 videos left. 2 for Mondays, which are tutorials. One Christmas, one New Year. Because after, remember, ladies and gentlemen, after Christmas, my content turns into scene for the New Year. Okay. So we'll do New Year for Canva, New Year, New Year short, New Year post. That'll be New Year topic. That'll be all those things. After Christmas, it immediately changes over to that. So make sure you're here for that. I might drop a little something here and there. Might do a watch along here and there. Hopefully. I want to do one this Saturday and want to do one next Saturday. Don't look like that's going to happen. But you know what's going to happen? We're going to be here every Sunday. Me and J.News, even if we have to pre-record, we'll be here every Sunday. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, like I say all the time, J.News, I know I'm an older lady, but it's not just me. It's getting hot in here, okay? And like I tell all you all, please keep your clothes on. I don't want to see that, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, when it gets hot, you know what our parents say. Cut the lights out, ladies and gentlemen. And until then, we hope you have a great and amazing week. And until then, peace.